DJ Scream. Corey, what's happening? Spins on the beat.
It's Hoodrich Radio. You better not change the station.
Hoodrich Radio, we live. You know what it is. We on Hip-Hop Nation. One and only DJ Scream. Superstar check-in today. The homie family is in the building. David Banner.
What's up with you, black man?
What's up, brother? How you feeling? How you feeling today?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling real godly today.
We're gonna keep this interview very positive, a lot of positive vibes, because you've been on some very positive things. No, I like it.
We don't have to focus on positive. I am what I am.
Right.
So it's just like if you ask Malcolm X certain question.
Yeah, naturally
is you're gonna have a certain type of answer. Like you don't have to cater, anything to me. I've lived the entire gambit of life.
Right.
And I'm just balanced.
Mm-hmm.
If rap was all positive, I would be a gangster rapper right now.
Got you.
We just need balance. So that's all hip hop needs.
You just
balance.
answered a question for me, man. I've been following your music a long time, and
Yeah.
It's always been great music.
Can I curse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's always been great music.
Fuck. You just got to get it out your spirit.
Just get it
man.
out. Yeah, just get it out. It's like taking a shit.
Yeah.
I feel you. There's always been great music, but recently, when I tune into your more recent records, they seem to have, I guess you could say, more of a, I wouldn't say purpose, but they just seem to have more of a different direction where you're trying to, tell people something.
I disagree, and I'm glad that we were able to do this on this show.
Okay.
And make sure that I know when this is going down, so I can make sure that my fans know, because a lot of people need to hear this.
Absolutely.
The thing is, people never listened.
Mm-hmm.
I think based on what's going on in America right now, that people are a little bit more open, and with Instagram and Twitter, people can follow your life like instantly.
Right.
So they see how I live. Like, bruh, I come from a group called Crooked Letters.
Right.
You see, people don't do the history.
Yeah.
It's just that when David Banner, the solo artist, came into fruition, like, dude, I was homeless.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I was depressed.
Right.
I was drunk.
Right.
So it was the same message, but with alcohol and weed and a whole lot of sex on top of it.
So Like a Pimp and Might Get You was the moment when...
Well, see, even Like a Pimp, if people look, do me a favor, everybody.
Okay.
Go pull up Like a Pimp on YouTube.
Okay.
And turn the music off. Dude, we ran the Ku Klux Klan out of Mississippi. We pushed down the burning crosses.
This is true.
Like all of
this
this stuff, nobody, and
it was.
I'm gonna tell you how God works. The screen flashed sex, drugs, and I end up having a mixtape called Sex, Drugs, and Video Games. Mm-hmm. And even the song after that was Cadillac on 22s. God, I know that we pimp. God, I know that we wrong.
You're right.
Dude, riding with Talib Kweli and Dead Prayers. Like, I've always done all of these songs. As a matter of fact, with the exception of my second album, because I was going through so much shit, and that's when I first had my first depression, I would even say 60% of all of my albums have always been spiritual and knowledge-based.
Now, a lot of people won't admit that they had depression. Like, what led to that depression?
Imagine being a hunter and a lion, and within a 2-day period, you go from hunting to being the hunted.
Ah, okay.
And dude, I went from being homeless to people saying
that
I had a $10 million deal.
Right. This is
true. You go from nobody in the world knowing you trying to get 100 people to knowing you, to, I would say, 20% of the world's population knowing who you are.
Yeah.
And we're talking about global. We're not talking about America. So that 20% of the world is more than America's population.
Yeah.
To you not being able to go anywhere. Not that I ever been, just no ratchet dude, but like I can't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Without people seeing it.
Yeah.
Everybody calling you, your phone, like there was a time in my life where my phone rung every minute for 10 hours a day.
10 hours a day.
Starting right around 10:30, my phone would ring up until about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
So that kind of pressure, the human brain was never designed to know that many people. Because you think when humans were designed, you probably only within your circumference had to deal with 100 people.
Yeah.
I had to deal with 100,000 people.
So do you think that obviously that was because at the time maybe a lot of people were trying to just absorb your energy and just be a part of your wave? Is it the same thing now?
Well,
or is it the same thing but just a different type of people?
Well, it's different now because I am more trained than I am before.
Right.
Like the David Banner now, I would kill with my bare hands the David Banner at 20. I'm not mad. I'm trained. I don't have to get mad anymore.
Right.
Like, I train.
Right.
Like I train to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I train to think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to get mad if we debate. Because 9 times out of 10, I know that I'm more prepared than the average human.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no need to get mad. And I know those things that will send me into that place. So I go to therapy. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to play tough. I am. Mm-hmm. So I can tell people my weaknesses. I can tell them I go to therapy. I can tell them that I meditate. I can tell them that I eat right. I can tell them that I'm no longer an alcoholic.
Why do you think so many people, especially in this industry, have a problem like admitting one side as well as the other side? Like I said,
because they're liars.
They're liars. Okay,
they're liars. And how dare you tell these kids that that everything is so fucking hood when you don't live there.
You don't live there, right?
You telling the kids to stay in the hood, but you don't live there. That's a fucking lie, my dude.
Right.
How dare you tell these kids something that you won't let your own children listen to? Yeah. Like your own kids. You're out here you're out here saying and doing shit. And I'm one of those people. So it's not like I'm separating myself from my people. I understand it. I feel like the reason why my press is a little bit different now, because God blessed me with so much and I did so little with it that I have making up to do. Right. So this doesn't have anything to do with money. Like I tell a lot of DJs that's playing my new records, like everybody's like, dude, why are you so thankful? I said, because this is my movement. Right. This is my burden. And I don't expect you. The shit that I'm saying on my album, bro, it can get your lights cut off.
Well, let's start with the Hip-Hop Cypher.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people saw it. Yeah. Just tell
me. A lot of people.
A lot of people saw it, including myself. Just tell me what led up to it, what your thoughts were when it happened, and then what your thoughts were or what you experienced after the world saw it.
I can give you some just based on how, I talked to your assistant and she we both believe in the law of attraction.
Right.
And she said that she had spoke my name to you about a week ago.
Yeah.
And
you appeared.
We ended up coming together. So I'm going to give you some information that nobody else had because of her. So thank her.
Please.
I'm going to tell you something that happened. That verse, I never told anybody that verse was actually a interlude on my album. Okay. But it didn't have that last line on it. The last line was, how you proud to sell dope to your own folks' house, nigga. Yeah. And then I thought about it. I said, we always reprimanding our own people. When black people, we don't have boats. We can't manufacture dope and guns. Right. We know where that shit coming from. Okay. Our government knows where it coming from. It's their kids, their friends, their hookups. The president, Bush and all them, they knew Bin Laden and all them folks, man. They flew them folks out of the country when 9/11 happened. So, they know where the drugs coming from. We're the most technologically advanced country in the fucking world. You mean you can't find 20, 30 people that are supplying the influx of drugs in our fucking community? As a matter of fact, during Reagan's tenure, him and Ollie North was the reason why we had crack in America. That's what I really think the CIA means, is crack in America, me personally. So when I thought about that, and God laid that on my spirit literally 10 minutes before I went on the Cypher, and I wrote that last line. I said, if I'm going to check my people, then we got to hold white folks accountable too. Because black folks in America learned violence from white people, from over 350 years of bondage. But most of these house niggas are scared to check white people because they know that's where they get their money from.
So after that, what happened? Like social networks, and when people saw you, and when you saw white people, and what happened after that?
What's crazy, the white people wasn't tripping.
Wow.
Because let me tell you something about my album and about me. Like, dude, I'm meditative now. I live a Zen-like life. So I don't believe in violence and drama when it's not necessary. But if you bring it, I'll end it. I promise you, with all of my heart, I will end whatever. Right. But that's not what I want. I only speak the truth. So white people know what they've done to black people. Honestly, that's where most of the aggression in America comes from, I believe, is white people feel like niggas should have done something back to them. And they didn't. And I say nigga, I don't even say the word. I say nigga because I mean the word nigga. The people that they created, They created what black people are today. And they feel like in their heart, if somebody would have done that to them, they would have killed them. But black folks not even thinking about that. For the most part, black folks love white folks. So when I said that, honestly, not one white person, maybe, one person.
Because obviously white
Twitter.
people, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, if you have white friends,
it was more black folks.
Okay.
But my white friends know me.
Right.
My white folks know, like, honestly, my godchild is white. I don't have no problem with that. I love individuals, but as a whole, I am truthful about what they have done to our race. This is not a white and black thing. I love my people, but if you fucking with my people, it is what it is. I just left Ferguson. Ferguson is what it is, and those cops up there are wrong. And if people as a whole, which I'm talking about the good white folks, continue to allow it to be that way, then they are part of the problem too.
Okay, let's talk about this new record. Keep it. I like
Hoodrich Radio. They scared. Hold on.
Make sure the motherfucking lights don't go out. Everything that David Banner said is not a part of Hoodrich Radio. What's another disclaimer word?
This is information now. This is good because people should speak their mind.
But I want to finish. I want to finish what I was saying. So what happened is right before I went on to the Cypher is where I wrote literally that last line that everybody's flipping on. And I'm going to tell you how hypocritical people are, both white and black. The line before said, how you proud to sell dope to your own folks' house, nigga. Nobody said nothing about that. Me reprimanding black folks. Oh, that's what we all do. That's what America does. But all I said was, I meant it how it sounds. Were all the white rappers when they mowed Mike Brown down. Did any of you all hear any white rappers say anything about it? Anything? They didn't. It's just a fact.
Right. Okay.
It's not a diss. It's factual fucking information.
Okay.
So do not get emotional with the bearer of the information. Deal with the facts. So if you feel some kind of way, then say something. Because you use the culture, so defend the culture.
And that's what I was getting at. So you say you didn't get too many people hitting you. Like you didn't get too much of that. People just kind of sat down and maybe just thought about it and maybe agreed.
Hopefully what people know is no matter how harsh things may sound for me, they come from a spiritual place. They come from a good place. Like people are going to try, I know people are going to try to pick apart my album and try to plot me against people for ratings, but I'm not going to play into that. I don't care about nothing but my people. Like, and unless you willing to do something, me battling you, like I give you an example. People were so surprised about my Cypher verse, but they didn't know I was a battle rapper.
Right.
That's what I started off as. You know that.
Yeah,
I started
absolutely.
off. During the time I was a battle rapper, I didn't lose. I lost when I first started. And I tied with this one dude. And I think that was probably my last battle. When I tied, I was done. And because I'm from Mississippi, my folks really don't like that kind of rap. So I stopped doing it because my folks didn't listen to that. Because I came up off of Souls of Mischief. I came up off of Tila Rock. I come up off of De La, Scarface, and, all that kind of rap.
How did that happen coming from, like, Jackson, Mississippi? Like, what was the outlet? There was no internet then, so did you just wait for, like...
No. I had a cousin who came from the North who was making a transition from a hip-hop DJ to... of all things, a blues DJ.
Okay.
So he gave me all of his records when I was in the sixth grade. And the first record he gave me was the flip side of Stetson Sonic, was Rock Lestat.
Okay.
He gave me Mantronics. He gave me Tila Rock. And it took me to another world. Like, it literally changed my whole entire life. Like, during the time I was growing up is when the folks and the Vice Lords came to Mississippi. And, like, hip-hop saved me. Like literally daylight, like literally brand Nubians is the reason why I haven't ate pork in almost 25 years, and it was because of Sadat X or Derek X at the time.
Tell people some of your other endeavors and how you kind of keep the lights on, and then also talk to me about if you think that a lot of artists put too much into just doing music and hip hop, and maybe that's why they see themselves in a different situation down the line,
I think what happens is, and this happens with black people in general, or people of culture, and just artists in general, is that we're not honest. You know, I always ask artists all the time. They come up to me and be like, bro, why you don't have a record label? And then I'll turn around and ask them, when is the last time you bought a record?
Right.
Just be honest. So you want me to put $1 million into you, and you won't even put $9.99 in the Target.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and I'm going to ask you a question. What form of music took the biggest hit in the last 5 to 10 years?
Well, we will want to say hip hop music, but is it country? I don't know. I can't
It's
answer
definitely
that.
hip hop.
It's definitely hip hop.
It's definitely black music.
Black music
in general.
And why do you think it is? Do you think it's because people aren't being honest and people are kind of starting to smell that?
Well, no, I know the real reason, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
We'll talk about that on the next time.
Right.
But the thing that I just want to get to is that most black kids want to be rappers,
Right.
but there's no money in it.
Right.
You feel me? Like, it's probably about 4 people that's really making money. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's almost like pushing the buffalo, like how the cowboys used to push the buffaloes over the mountain.
Yeah.
It's like all of us see 1 or 2 people making money, but not noticing the failure of the whole system.
Okay.
Back when we were younger, you would have like literally 15 to 20 popping artists at the same time.
Right.
Like when LL was out, it was probably 30 of them.
It's a whole Def Jam.
Like, yeah. And that's just one company.
Yeah.
Now it's basically 4. It's 4 people. And you know that it's bad and nobody's saying anything about this. Well, they'll have just a block of 1 artist. Well, you could have took that artist and played at least 10 artists. You take a block and you play 1 artist for a whole hour.
So you're saying that some of it has to do with media?
No, what I'm saying is that why would we all want to do something that there's no money in? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense from a street perspective.
Correct.
If they not buying meth in the hood that you selling drugs, you're not buying meth.
Right.
To sell, or you're not selling it because nobody's buying it. So they have fooled our people into being stars before getting their paper. Everybody yelling that they're getting paper, but they're not getting paper. They're spending paper. So until we can get our people to start investing into what they want to invest back in them, hey, and then we cry because the upper echelon artists are not standing up for the community. They're not standing up from the community because one reason, not just because they don't stand up for the people, because everybody's not built for that, but because the community no longer supports them. They get their money from the system.
Right.
So why would they fight the system if that's where they get their money from?
So David Banner, just speaking of David Banner, you still involve yourself in hip hop, I would assume, for 2 reasons. A, because you love it, and B, because it's still a very powerful form of getting your message across or getting your point across.
Well, I love my people, dude. Like that's the biggest thing for me, is that I love my people and I feel it again. Okay. Like, dude, honestly, this is just us speaking. I hadn't felt it in 7 years.
Got you.
Like as an MC.
As an MC and a producer?
Both. Like,
wow.
It was a moment where I would get anxiety about going in the studio.
Wow.
Like the business aspect had burned me so bad. I didn't listen to music for like 2 years. Not no gospel, no positive music, no negative music, no nothing. And I think that was just the time that God was dealing with me.
What's your take on that?
The problem is that we have accepted it, brother. And it's sad that our women want it. Some of the most beautiful women in the world, they want to be hoes. And what the men do is they watched how the slave masters pimped us, and we use that same theology to pimp our women. So if you had the most beautiful woman and she giving her pussy up easy, why not continue to influence her so every beautiful woman like that, it won't be hard for you to get that pussy because I like the fact that I can talk like this, the way that I want to talk.
Yeah. That's what we're
I like
about.
saying, hey, I got this verse on my album where I say I'm trying not to cuss, but I still like to fuck.
Right.
That's a hard ass line if you think about it from just a theory perspective. But yeah, man, I feel bad, man, and some of the most beautiful women, a lot of them are not even that way, but they don't know the effect that they have on these young girls. We are creating a generation of zombies. But what I will say that I saw in Ferguson, I actually feel good because, man, a lot of these kids are piecing it together on their own. Like them men and women in Ferguson, bro, they were fighting against tanks, dog.
What's the solution to some of these issues that we discussed, for the time you've been here? What's the solution? We could talk about the problems forever.
My solution is for us to start doing us. I think the first thing is we're going to have to start. First of all, we're going to have to find knowledge of self. Mm-hmm. And when I say knowledge of self, I mean we have to find out our history. Mm-hmm. I mean from Africa, I mean from the Moors, I mean Timbuktu, I mean all of those types of things. We have to find out who we are. We have to find the God in us. Mm-hmm. Once we find that, then we must teach our own children. Mm-hmm. Then what we have to do is we have to create our own. This is what I said this on Twitter today. You have to create. We have to first create our own. Mm-hmm. Well, first we have to know our own, mm-hmm. create our own, mm-hmm. distribute our own, mm-hmm. then buy our own. Mm-hmm. Then we can protect and provide for our own. Mm-hmm. Damn it, somebody need to get that and put that on a motherfucking t-shirt.
What up, DJ Scream? Corey, what's happening? Spins on the beat.
It's Hoodrich Radio, you better not change the station.